Hey Brickheads, Scott with 36 Bricks here. Super excited as we are at Solvang Brick and Builds Festival in Solvang, California. Let's check it out. Hey Brickheads, Scott with 36 Bricks here. Super excited because this is my Lego channel. Super excited to share my adventures at Lego stores, bricks and minifigure stores, checking out different box stores, sharing my mocks, sharing my mods, and really having an all-around good time during live streams, special events, and all that good stuff. I specialize in making mocks, turning current sets into mocks or modifications, as well as tips and tricks on showing what I like to do for my Lego city. We'll go to events, share some fun activities, and definitely hang out on live streams. All right, guys, before we get into Brick and Builds Festival, super excited to show off this town. It is amazing. So Solvang is a city in Santa Barbara County, here in Southern California, located in the Santa Ynez Valley. I hope I pronounced that right, and was founded in 1911. It was incorporated as a city in May 1st, 1985, and roughly the population as of 2020 census is about 6,100. But it is a super cute town. Lots to do in this area if you like wine tasting, or if you like just roaming around different restaurants and having fun. You can go for a horse ride. All this kind of fun stuff in one little area. You can even go to an ostrich farm and feed some ostrich. So super excited as we were going to this year's festival for the second year in a row. Now, unfortunately, due to some personal stuff, we couldn't go for both days, but we were able to go on the Sunday. So really excited to participate in this event and have some fun. All right, guys. So for those of you guys that don't know, Solvang Brick and Builds Festival is spearheaded by Allison Gale from Lego Masters Season 4. And if you go into the middle of the town, there is a nice little park, and this is where all the vendors are and all of the master brick builders are. So they are all involved in a nice little contest where they start early morning Saturday, I believe, and they have to bring all their bricks and all their ideas, and they're given a task, and they actually have to build it out right there with everybody watching. And it's a lot of fun because you actually get to see people build in their prime and out in the public, as it is in the middle of the park. They have all afternoon for the first day, or all day in the first day, and then the majority of the morning into the afternoon to build on the second day. And then by about 2 o'clock, they have to have their builds done and finished, and then judging will happen, and then they announce the winners of the prizes after all is said and done. So it's really exciting to see how everything works, how people build, and what's their way of thinking, and all of that kind of fun stuff wrapped into a 2-day event. And then the big winner of the prize gets $1,000, so that is amazing. And then, as I mentioned, this is also where all of the vendors are when it comes to we have vendors from all across the area in different locations that are selling everything from Lego brand products or Lego items to other items, and it's a lot of fun. So you get a chance to see pretty much anything and everything there is to do in the town, right there in the middle. And then not too far away is the actual festival inside, where you can see all of the builds. So it's really, really fun. Now, again, you get to see some of the builders actually build as they move along and see their processes. And then in addition to that, again, you have vendors, and one of the big vendors is Bricks and Minifigures of Lomita, California. So they have some items out that they have selling from their store, whether it be sets, pre-built, or box sets or minifigures, all that kind of fun stuff wrapped into one. In addition to that, you have a open build area or play brick area, as we like to call it in Lugs. So you can kids can come up or adults can come up and build as they see fit and have a lot of fun. This was one of the bigger Lego vendors where they had tons and tons and tons of sets, both retired and I believe current, in addition to, oh my gosh, minifigures, just minifigures galore. Anything and everything you might need or want, they had it, and it's a lot of fun to see all that stuff in person. Because sometimes you don't necessarily get to see all of that stuff because it's retired or they came in sets that you didn't see, all that kind of fun stuff wrapped into one. So it's great to see all the minifigures and all the sets. All right, guys, so let's get into the festival. So again, spearheaded by Allison Gale of Lego Masters Season 4, we have the actual event hall, which is closer to the east side of the town. And there's a lot going on for both days. So it was on April 18th and 19th of 2026. And then here is a kind of a list of or breakdown of the scheduled of events. They do have a scavenger hunt where you go to different businesses, get a stamp, and then at the end you get a prize. And then these are all the times and the event schedules for the entire event for both days. So you get an idea of what's going on and where things are happening and all that kind of fun stuff. Now, as we get into the actual hall, we came in on a Sunday, so and it was kind of first thing, so it wasn't as busy, but it was definitely a lot busier on Saturday. And then in addition, they had a lot going on later in the day on Sunday. So we got to get in there and really have some fun and check out all of the different builds within the hall itself. And there's two rooms to the hall. There's the primary hall and then there's a secondary hall. The primary hall had a lot of collabs and a lot of builds that were a lot bigger. And then the secondary hall was a lot of the smaller builds and more fun builds to where, they minimized pieces and all that kind of fun stuff. So it was really cool to see a lot of this stuff. I mean, and you have themes from all over the realm where it's Halloween themed, you have space themed, you have city themes, you have, again, collabs like Radiator Springs here, where a few different people come together to build a bigger build, which is a lot of fun because you get to spearhead different ideas and all that kind of fun stuff, and different people get their hands on the builds and really have a good time with the build itself. And then you have other builds where it's just they incorporate, mechs or, independent builds that don't span from a, area or anything like that. As you go through the list, you see, of course, the different styles of builds, which is really cool, different techniques, different ways of building, different things that people have incorporated, different part uses, which is cool. And then, of course, they post their banners for social media so that you can follow those different people and actually get to see maybe how the builds were built and all that kind of fun stuff. Some of the things that you'll also notice here at Solvang Brick and Builds is on the placement cards, there are little stickers, and most of the builds are actually incorporated in contests as well. There's different devices or divisions in contests or different categories. Each of the categories is designated by a color-coded sticker. And then, of course, they get prizes that are announced on the Sunday afternoon. Now, as you guys know, if you followed me for a little while, I was given the honor of being 2025's People's Choice Award winner. So that was pretty cool. And that came with a $500 prize. And again, they did it this year as well. So the top master builder or prize was $1,000. People's Choice Award was $500, and then a lot of different people got awarded for different categories, giving them Bricklink sets. Lagola, which is a Lego user group of LA, they sponsored the event, as well as Bricklink sponsored this event. So you had Bricklink designer program sets that were given away to contest winners, in addition to sets that Lagola sponsored, purchased, or what have you, and gave out to independent builders, which was a lot of fun. So you get to see a lot of different, again, styles and techniques of different ways of people build and display their builds and all of that kind of fun stuff. And it's just an overall good time because you get a chance, if the builders are there, you get a really good chance of talking with the builders, seeing how they built it, what their mindset was to build it, all of that kind of fun stuff, and really get to enjoy some of the things that you don't necessarily get to see because it's based on people's imaginations and they're not transformed into sets. So they're not able to be purchased or anything like that unless the individual people are selling them. So it's really cool to just kind of sit down or stand there and talk to different people about their builds, about why they built it, how they built it, different techniques that they used. You know, some people like Marvel, some people like Star Wars, some people like Basic City, some people like going outside of the box and going with Transformers or different IPs, different things. Some people collect minifigures, and it's great to see all of those things wrapped up into one. I mean, you even get to see like mosaics and all this other stuff that people just spend their time, energy, and effort just embracing their passion. And it's really fun to kind of see a lot of those things and see what comes of their imagination. Some people will take items from different categories and blend them. Some people will uh, go into their favorite experiences, going to amusement parks. Some people love movies or characters like Frankenstein and his wife and all that, and then some people really dig into movies or other things and really have a fun time. So again, Bricklink was a major sponsor of the event, so shout out to Bricklink. Not a sponsor of my channel, but they were a sponsor of this event. And then going back into the builds, this is a build of Middle Earth. If you're a Lord of the Rings fan, you see all the different, this is essentially a map and a diagram of the way that the hobbits and all of I forgot what the cluster of people were, but that the trail that they went and the places where they visited and all that. So it was really fun to see all of that stuff wrapped up into one big build, and it was really cool. If you're a Dune fan, obviously you're going to love this build. I'm not big into Doom, but I do love the techniques that they used. A lot of the reversed light bricks are used and all that kind of fun stuff. And then, as I mentioned, Bricklink is a sponsor, so they gave people the opportunity to. They brought a bunch of minifigure parts, and you could build your own minifigure and put that on display in this community chart to where you can, see all the fun stuff and who was there and all that kind of jazz. And it's really a lot of fun to just kind of do that stuff and hang out and have fun and talk with people. Going into some of the other builds, again, you have different people from different genres and that love different themes and want to incorporate their favorite movies or their favorite activities into builds. Going into this section here, there was some cool castle builds that just had so much detail, so much enthusiasm into the build, and you can see the love and the passion that people have for these builds, and the details that they incorporate into the builds is just a lot of fun. I mean, you have a little courtyard inside of a castle, which is like a village. Over here, you have an ocean or a pirate kind of theme where you have a island, and then you have moving water. People will incorporate lighting techniques and movement into their builds, and that's a lot of fun to just kind of see how they used parts and what they used and what they did and how they went about doing the things that they did and all that kind of fun stuff. And again, you also get the opportunity to talk with the displayers and the creators of these events because this is their opportunity to show their love and passion for the builds, and you can take the opportunity to ask them questions about their builds, how they do it, where they do it, how they get the parts. This was a really cool village. My daughter loves mushrooms, and and this was really, really cool to see because she got super excited about it, seeing all of the design work and all of the characters and all of the skill and technique that went into building all of these fun stuff around mushrooms. And some of these pieces I didn't even know existed because I'm not involved or interested in the sets that they come with, but it's really cool to see those pieces because I had never seen them before. So it's really fun to kind of just open your eyes and see the part usage and see the techniques of the different people, and see the little Easter eggs, because you might see little characters in these builds that they love and they want to show, and all of that kind of fun stuff. I mean, you have some trolls and you have some characters that have costumes on, all that kind of fun stuff wrapped into one. And it's really, really cool to see. So if you haven't been to anything like this, you've got to go. And Solvang is happening in 2027. So definitely get out there. Book your tickets as soon as they arrive. Book your hotels because they book up fast. And really stay for the weekend. Go in on a Friday. Friday morning, check out the town and all of that, and then stay for Saturday and Sunday's events and just kind of have fun. This was a really cool castle. It towered at least 4 feet off the table. I mean, I had to do a full reach just to get some of the footage that I could, and the gentleman that was displaying it, I didn't catch his name or any of his information, but he started spinning it, and I didn't even know it spun. And then there was a staircase, and he was like, "Have you seen the staircase?" And I'm like, "No, I haven't. Show me, show me, show me." And so it was a lot of fun. Just again, talk with the people, showcase their passion for Lego, and just having fun and seeing all the nooks and crannies of the details that they incorporated in it. What's really cool is you get this really great view. Now, to be honest, I wish this was on the ground because you can clearly tell that there's a lot of details on the interior that you just can't see inside. And so that was a little disappointing, to be honest. But it's not necessarily a bad thing because I just wanted to see more. I want to see more. I want to see more. What's also cool is a lot of people did have movement. So you saw some trains and you saw some builds that showcased a nice little cityscape. You see some older parts and some newer parts, some older buildings and some newer buildings. You see different builds that came as a set, but they may have modified it in one way, shape, or form because maybe they didn't like the color, or maybe they didn't like the look, or maybe they just wanted to change it. So they did. And that's what makes it a lot of fun is you get to see those differences and some things that are just created from somebody's mind, and even these bridges and all of this fun stuff you get to see in person. And that's the joy and fun to these builds is people, just use their imagination and have fun with it and just roll with all of the different things that they love about Lego and just incorporate it in. And there are some amazing building techniques. I mean, look at this curved build. Like, that is awesome. Like, I didn't get a chance to ask the displayer how they did that, but I'd love to find out. Then you have this bad boy. Now, this was one of the winners. And it is just amazing. So it is Maleficent's castle, and you do have Maleficent and her dragon there, which is a little confusing, but it's still a great build. Really love the techniques that they used. This is like a steampunk space ship. Don't know a whole lot about space punk, so I can't speak on it, but they incorporated lighting and all that kind of fun stuff in the build, and it just looked amazing. I mean, it was so much fun just looking at all of this stuff. And then over here, you had some mosaics that gave it a little bit of texture. They did movie posters, and the Jaws won one of the contests, so that was a lot of fun. Over here, we have another city collab from Baylug, and it's some really great part usage and some design work that they incorporated. That was, of course, like a zoo. I think, or something along those lines. And then they had different buildings that they created throughout. And I love the building techniques that they used. It's a lot of fun. I will definitely be using some of those techniques. Jolly Green Giant in the house. So, as you can see, there's a lot of different things that people display, and it's a lot of fun to just kind of check things out. And again, see what they do, how they do it, and how they incorporate it into a bigger build. And that's what makes things like this so much fun. And I know I'm talking forever. I mean, this is a longer video, but I just wanted to give you a bigger scope of everything that they had. Plus, quite honestly, I couldn't air the actual audio because there was music playing, and I didn't want to deal with copyrights and all that. This was really cool because you got to see different colors and different building techniques. But yeah, so again, if you haven't gotten a chance, go out and see these things. These buildings were really cool. This is another section for Baylug, and it was awesome. I mean, just the towering buildings. I mean, these buildings were probably 10 feet tall, not to mention they're, I think 3.5 feet off the ground because they're on the tables. And it's really cool to see like large scale buildings like that. It's a lot of fun. And the colors. I mean, you don't necessarily see trans purple a lot in Windows, so it's a lot of fun. Now, these are some builds that again, I believe they won for overall. I can't remember the category, but that was a lot of fun to see that they did a bunch of mechs and all of that kind of fun stuff. I believe I forgot to mention Radiator Springs also won for Best Collab. This was also cool to see because, of course, you have motorization and I mean, there's a lot of technique that goes into that because obviously it's sloped. So you have to really control the downslope and the upslope of or the movement, I should say, the speed and all of that stuff in the builds, and it was really cool to see. Now, I shifted gears because over in this section, I kind of went in reverse, so that's why it kind of jumped over to this section. But as you can see, there's a lot of great builds, kind of a medieval times festival going on right here. There's, of course, an amazing temple that is just, I mean, and there's informational cards too that you can kind of utilize and read through and kind of get an idea. If the builder isn't there, you can kind of get an idea of what they have. Some builders will do videos and then they will have a link or something that you can scan, like a QR code, so that you can go right to the video and kind of learn more about it. And then you get to see printed tiles that I never saw or have never seen, but they came out with, and you can kind of look and see what's cool about that. This was an amazing Star Wars build, had a lot of minifigures, a lot of detail in the build. You could literally spend hours on this build just kind of looking at it, viewing all of the information in the builds and the techniques and the design work and all of that kind of fun stuff, and just continue to see little nooks and crannies of different things that people put together and the strategies behind the different the different units of the stormtroopers, the different minifigures that you could eventually build up on and get the destroyers and all of that. Like, I'm not a big Star Wars guy, but I love seeing this kind of stuff because it's really, really cool to see the love and passion that people have for the build and for the theme, and just kind of incorporate that into a big build. And it is a big build. I mean, there's a lot to it, a lot of details to it that look amazing. I mean, clearly they spent a lot of time, energy, and love in building this stuff. And you got to really respect, even if you're not a big fan of the theme or any of that, you just got to respect their passion and their love for this theme and the builds and all of that kind of fun stuff. And some of the builds you just kind of really got to get into because there's small areas that show the area, but then there's a lot of details on the inside, and some play into different ways and different things that they have seen in the movies and all of that. So it's really cool to incorporate all of that stuff into a massive build like that. So again, really excited to see this kind of stuff and really have fun with it. Those of you that are into Myst will greatly appreciate this build. I remember playing this game back in the 90s with some friends, And when the new versions came out, they were all excited. And I remember playing different variations of the game and all this kind of fun stuff. So it was really cool to see, some of this stuff come back into the realm and people get interested and really have fun with it. Now, as I mentioned, there's a secondary room that had a few different builds. There was, I think, a vendor or two in there and a lot of fun. Meet my friend Kim. Gotta love her. She's family. She brought her builds for display, and it was really fun to see it. And we love her to death, so we wanted to make sure we showed her and showed some love for her little Halloween town and all of her amazing builds. She is a great asset in the Lego community because she is just so fun loving, and it's a lot of fun to be around her. I love her to death. This was, I guess, a build that was part of or is on the Lego Ideas. They have about 7,500 votes right now, so that's a lot of fun to see in person. There's also some really cool designs. I love that tiger and some really cool stuff from other Lego masters that are here. I believe her name's Melina. She was Allison's partner. So it's really cool to see some of her builds and some of the things that she loves to build. And then over here, we had some other builders that had some more Star Wars, the cantina, which is awesome, and it actually had music and lighting, which was fun. There's some stickers on here, minifigures from Fast Times at Freddy, and it's really really cool to see a lot of this stuff. I got to talk to this young man, and he is a charmer. I will say that. They also came up with a design for a backpack, which was really cool to see, and it's like an all-in-one compassing backpack where you can put your stuff in, and it folds out with fabric and all this kind of cool stuff. So it's really cool to see all of that fun stuff wrapped into an event like this. As you can see, there's a lot more to see from the builds and builders. Some people, again, build independent builds versus others do collabs. So it's really great to see some of the cool stuff that people come up with and collect and all that jazz. I mean, it's just really fun. I mean, I can't say it enough. If you haven't been to events like these, you have to go. Whether they're local events, if you or a destination event, you definitely got to get out to those and have some fun. As you can see, there is a lot of detail in these builds that the videos just don't do justice. So that's why I really am passionate about going to more of these events, really showing the support and love for a lot of the people who are putting these events on. So that is definitely something to look out for. So just do a search and see what events are in your area and really embrace the community and have fun with it. Same with going on YouTube channels like mine, enjoying live streams like on Twitch and all of that kind of fun stuff. Because it's a lot of fun. I mean, it really is. So as we gear up, you will see the builds kind of end, and then there are some really cool things that people do, like the Women's Brick Initiative. They came out and allowed people to build little. I guess they're mini mosaics that you can add to the overall builds, and then I'm not sure if they take them down after or if they incorporate them into the bigger overall items. But it's a lot of fun to do these activities and really participate. Again, as you see, we're kind of winding down. People are going to be gathering soon for the announcements of the winners, which is a lot of fun. And I just wanted to show the scope because, again, sometimes you just don't see the scope in its entirety unless you go. And it's a big room. There are hundreds of builds and displays here at this event. Far more than most smaller events, and we hope that this thing can just expand and get bigger and bigger and bigger over time. Different themes, different builders, all that kind of fun stuff wrapped into one community, and this is what we do. This is a lot of fun. You got to get out. You got to support the community and have some fun. So here we are. All of the the pro builders brought their builds into the area or into the hall so that they can be announced as winners. And then, of course, the announcements happen, and then there's a slight delay because I messed up the footage and I wanted to showcase my boy Marcellus's build. This pirate ship mech is just amazing, and I didn't realize it was there and what I was looking at when I saw it, so I wanted to give extra support to my family. So it's a lot of fun. Now, back to Bricklink. Here we are. We're they're showcasing, Allison's announcing the winners and all of their their goodies that they won. So congratulations to them. Thanks for watching, guys. I really do appreciate all the love and support. Did you like that video? Please like, share, and subscribe. If you like my content and want more, please consider joining one of my memberships, as every little bit counts. Want to see more? Check out this video. Or, well, shit, maybe this video. That video. Check out all my videos on my YouTube channel. And if you want to hang out during live streams, come do that too. Thanks for watching.